blowtorch. Hello, beautiful souls. If you're here and you can hear me and see me okay, let me know. Send you some Palo Santo. Welcome to the super full moon in Capricorn. Hey, Bernadette, how are you guys feeling? Is everyone still having a hard time? Is it kind of subsiding? Um, yeah, I love Palo Santo, Kyra. Oh, awesome, Bernadette. Thank you. So, where do we begin? So tonight's a super moon, which means the moon is closer to the earth. So it looks like you can walk right up to it, right? Hi, Tom. I hope you're doing well too. It also intensifies the energies. So you may be feeling this full moon a bit. Either you're very tired or anxious or just super motivated, because Capricorn is about taking action. It's an earth sign. So the past, hi Denise, hey Tasha, hi Lucy. It's still light here in California. Denise from Chicago. Wow. Okay, Bernadette. So that hi Amy, happy full moon. Bernadette, that kind of goes with what we've been doing. So we've been doing a lot of ancestral healing, and it's been amplified. So a lot of karmic healing, ancestral healing, a lot of shit that we've been putting off because we didn't want to deal with over the years is like coming to the surface now. And it's like, nah, you got to deal with this shit now. Hey, man. And that's why it's been extremely overwhelming. Hey, Shelly. Astrologically, July is going to be busy. We'll say busy. There's a lot of intense energies coming in July. It's going to feel, here's the metaphor that I was given. When I first came to Florida, I was literally in the middle of a tornado. And inside a tornado, like a hurricane, it's calm, right? So when you're inside the core of the tornado, it's calm, but the chaos is happening around you. So we need to go within and go within our core where there is that calmness and that peace. Hey, Anita, and not get caught up in the chaos, because there is a lot of chaos around us right now, and a lot more is coming. And a lot of it also has to do with our past. So you may be noticing dreams, memories, just thoughts from your past, your childhood, just popping up. And it's kind of like it just wants to be acknowledged. And sometimes there is some kind of healing that needs to take place, because only you can tell. Either it'll make you feel good or bad. If it makes you feel bad, then just acknowledge what it's making you feel, allow the emotions to come to the surface, and don't justify it. Don't give it a story. Just allow it to come up so you can just let it transmute and go back to nothing, because really it's nothing. Now on the 7th is the 777 portal. So 2023 comes out to the number 7. So July 7th makes it a 777 portal. So because I'm not doing the meditations during these readings, because the videos get too long, I will be doing a portal meditation on the 7th, so we can access that 7 portal energy, 777. I know when you always have a hard time with the chat. I don't know why. The universe just doesn't want you to chat. Okay, so a lot of us have been going through intense anxiety, overwhelming, just feeling completely off, feeling God knows what you're feeling, all kinds of emotions coming up. So what July is about is integrating these shadows, right? So if you're familiar with shadow work or the shadow side, your shadow side is the side you hide, and that's what's been coming up. That's what's been coming to the surface. Things that we don't want to deal with, things that for whatever reason we believe it's bad or people wouldn't understand us. And the shadow by no means is bad. Okay, a lot of conditioning has us thinking that, but it's not true, because a lot of light is within the shadow, and the shadow wants light. Basically, it wants to be brought to light. So July will be a lot of incorporating these shadows while taking action. So you may feel yourself compelled to move, or do something completely different, or take a new route to work, or just do something unroutine. And that, hi Blue, and that is going to create this shift in our lives, because that's what's going on. We're just shifting. We're shifting. And I know a lot of people, when they talk about spiritual awakening and the 5th dimension and the new earth, they're under the impression that we're just going to bloom into these beautiful flowers, and all is well, right? But don't forget, the seed of the flower had to be in the dark, and it had to push its way through the darkness in order to reach the light so it can bloom. So this, metaphorically, is what we're in right now. And we're starting to come into the light physically, because of the geometric storms, the solar flares, the intense energies coming in from the planets. You're going to feel it in your body physically. The best advice: rest if you feel tired. Drink a lot of water. Keep yourself hydrated. You may notice that some foods that you've always eaten, you don't even like anymore, or you're just not drawn to it anymore. You're just not craving it. That's the word I couldn't think of. You're not craving it anymore. So our taste for certain foods are changing. Depending on how sensitive you are, I noticed that I can taste the chemicals in the water now more than before. I can taste like the chlorine, and I'm tasting like some kind of plastic, and I filter my water. I still taste it. Certain foods, I can taste the chemicals in it. So if you're super sensitive, you may be noticing that as well. Let's see, what else did I want to share? Yeah, integrating the shadow. July is going to be strong energies. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And life update: I got stung by a wasp. Okay, this is day 4 of my wasp bite. Day 2, it was worse. Those of you who have never gotten bit by a wasp, just know if you ever do, day 2 is the worst day because that thing blew up and it went around my arm. So if I'm a little loopy, it's because I've been living on Benadryl for 4 days. Yeah, and I didn't even see the little bastard. All I felt was this burn. I'm like, what burnt me? And I'm looking and there was nothing there. And then all of a sudden a little red dot appears. I'm like, ah, shit, something bit me. Within an hour, my arm blew up and I was like, oh my God. And that thing burned for like 24 hours. Whatever it was, I think it was a wasp. The nurse that comes to the house thinks it was some kind of spider. It's a mystery. The bastard bit me and that's it. And I don't know what it was. So especially with this heat out there, I feel that the bugs are very nasty because it's so hot out. Just be careful out there. Okay. So if you are new to these circles, welcome. My name is Anne Marie. I am going to show you 3 cards. Each card represents a deck. Choose the card that you're drawn to. That is the message that you need to hear. All 3 decks are going to resonate with each other. So there's always going to be some message or something that resonates with you within the 3 decks. But the one you choose is the one you need to hear. Today's topic of the reading is energy. Hey, Lori, which makes sense. And it's number 13 and also the number 4, which the 4 is foundation stability. So that looks like a summer card, right? You know, like a drink. It's sunny out. July is going to be loaded with energy. And it's not good or bad. My lucky number is 13 too, Tasha. It's just intense. The other one is fertility. And you got 37, and that would be 10. And 10 is the master number. So beginnings and endings. So there's a lot of new beginnings for all of us. So now we're going to go. I got to timestamp this because I usually forget to write down the times. Okay, so if you are drawn to this card, you are deck number 1. If you are drawn to this card, you are deck number 2. And if you are drawn to this card, you are deck number 3. Let me know when you choose your deck so I know everyone had a chance to look at it. I'm going to repeat them again. Deck number 1. Deck number 2. And deck number 3. And Lynn, I do have my garden, and that's when I got bit by the wasp. I was watering my garden. So now I have PTSD. I'm afraid to go outside. And you guys know how I love to go outside and water my plants. I'm a little traumatized, not going to lie. Okay, so if you chose this card, you are deck number 1. I know a lot of people pick more than one. They're just drawn to it, and that's fine. That is fine. Okay, so deck number 1, right off the bat, as soon as I picked up these cards, I feel stomach issues, like nervous stomach, anxiety issues. Your chakra cards are sacral, solar plexus, and the sacral chakra. So you have the entire stomach area. And when they come out whole like this, that means that's where you're storing your energy. You could be having issues in those areas. I just feel like a lot of tightness in my stomach, like a nervous stomach, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of emotions, a lot of waves of emotions, almost like it's overwhelming. You maybe you can't identify what it is because it's so many different emotions combined. Um, like when I shared last week, I was crying every day. There was no reason to it. I mean, I wasn't feeling anything. It was just that I felt the need to cry. So I feel like this is kind of that same concept, that it's more of a release of overwhelming emotions, even though you just don't quite understand what these emotions are. I think you may have the tendency to bottle up your emotions, and it's not a particular person or incident or experience that has to do with these emotions. I just think maybe as a child you were taught certain emotions are a sign of weakness and you've learned to bottle those up, and now it's just overwhelming and it's coming up. I just feel like this is a lot of stored emotions, and it's almost as if you, how can I word this? If you don't release these emotions in healthy ways, you're like a walking time bomb. Think of like an atomic bomb. It's like just stored energy. That's what this is. This is a lot of stored emotional energy. You might want to do some cord cutting, some meditations that allow you to feel your emotions. There, I can't think like off the bat. There's some meditations. Ho'oponopono would be a good example. There is a lot of meditations that use Ho'oponopono. It's 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. There's songs, there's meditations. You can just repeat those phrases to yourself. That is a good way to release, I almost want to say unresolved emotions, only because I feel like maybe you're not quite aware of what these emotions are. The solar plexus is where I feel like you have some of these emotional attachments that are weakening your power chakra. Because the solar plexus is your power chakra. So if you have a cord attached to your power chakra and it's an emotional cord, it's like draining your energy to something that you're not even aware of, something that just needs to be acknowledged and released, but yet it's draining your energy. It's also creating a lot of anxiety and doubt. There's a lot of doubt because your gut, your solar plexus is where you feel your intuition, right? You get that gut feeling. If you're anxious and you have doubt, you're going to dismiss those messages, those feelings, because the emotions are going to take over and be like, oh no, we're in charge here. So I do feel like you're coming out of this though. I feel like just right now it's peaked. It's peaked, and it's something that you're coming out of. So it's not something that you're not aware of. It's not something that you haven't been working on, because the outcome of your cards, like look at your first card, the card you chose, the strength. right? The frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all quality and skills towards a strong and balanced way of being. This is where the balance is. And that's something that you are working on. So give yourself credit for how far you've come and be kind to yourself, because you've put in a lot of work to even become aware that this exists. You know, there are a lot of people out there that don't know squat. They don't know what they're feeling. They are so unaware and not mindful of anything. So the fact that you're aware of this is huge. So you need to give yourself a lot of credit for that. And most of all, be kind to yourself as you move through this phase, because you are coming out of it. You're coming out of it. You have inner desires and mutually beneficial venture. So there's something new that's coming in for you, something big. Let's see your inner desires. Set some intentions. You are entering a phase of plenty, or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. And the other card, there is an extraordinary connection at the forefront of your life at this moment. Utilize this relationship to benefit everyone concerned. So there is some kind of huge opportunity. This one is saying that it's right in your face right now. So it's right there. It's there. It's within your energy field. Let's put it that way. It's within your energy field. See, even with this card, it says expect a sudden windfall. And I feel like that you're coming into money. And I was looking to see if any cards would say that, but I feel like you're coming into money somehow. And it could be attached to this opportunity. It could be attached to the opportunity, but I don't think that is the case for everyone. But I have a strong feeling about money with those cards. You have peace and inspiration. So I do feel like it is time for you to take action on what you've been inspired to do. Either it's visions or ideas. Now's the time to take action. And if you feel like you don't know where to go or where to turn or even how to begin, I feel like there's a lot of support around you that's going to help you get there. It's a matter of giving yourself permission to do so, because there's still a lot of doubt, and it's a lot of self-doubt, thinking, all the self-doubt things. Am I good enough to do this? What if I screw it up? What if I don't know? We all learn along the way, but you have everything you need right now to take the action and to take you in the direction you are headed. Peace. I feel like that because this isn't the first, I think it was these cards. Yeah, it was the solitude card. So I'm going to show you these cards and then we'll discuss the peace. Rest and rejuvenate. Solitude. Universe. And fulfillment of wishes. So this, I feel like for some of you, there is an unexpected trip coming up. And it feels like something with the mountains. Um, I just see like a lot of land, like mountains, and I almost want to say grass, but that would be everywhere, right? It's um, not the beach. How about that? More like a pilgrimage, a spiritual. I don't want to say a retreat because it doesn't feel like a retreat. It just feels like I need to get away and connect to nature and kind of ground myself, kind of feeling. And that's where you're going to find reconnect to this inner peace within you. Um, it's not a long trip, it's a short trip. It could even be a day trip. But I feel like you just need to get away and ground yourself and find your center. Find that space within you that allows you to take control, because you may feel like that everything is out of control and you can't get a grasp on anything. So this trip it's pretty significant, but it's also unexpected. The solitude card. So I feel like you've been pretty much isolating yourself, but it's time to mingle. It's time to put yourself out there. I feel like you may have become very comfortable being in solitude, which I get because I like that too. But it's trying to put yourself out there because the opportunities that you are seeking are out there. Um, you just got to go out there. You know, you can't stay in your little shell. You got to get out, because that's where you're going to meet the support that you need at this time to get you to where you want to be. And I almost feel like it makes you uncomfortable, just the thought of it, of putting yourself back out there, as if you feel like, not that you don't know how to interact with people. It's like if you haven't dated for a long time and then you go on a date and it's like, I don't even remember how to date, that kind of feeling. So that's what this feels like. It feels like you've been in this routine for quite some time, that it's kind of scary to put yourself back out there. But you're on the right path, and you're definitely headed towards your dreams. We have Jupiter around us right now, and Jupiter is luck, money, prosperity. It's got like that energy. So now is a great time to manifest, because one, we are all vibrating at a higher rate, and you may be noticing that time is like off. I feel like it was just my birthday in April, and here we are. Tomorrow's the 4th of July. Like, I can't grasp April and July in such a short span of time. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, through meditation and messages, which kind of makes sense, it's that we are vibrating at a higher rate and things are moving faster for us. And the first thing we are going to notice is time. So time is moving at a faster rate, which, take it however you want to take it. But we are also manifesting at a faster rate. So be clear about what you want. Put your attention on what you want. Any doubts, insecurities, blocks that show up, work through them, heal them, transmute them, do whatever the hell you got to do. And just keep on moving forward, because this is the perfect and I mean perfect manifesting energy. So you have you're ready, success, and take action. So it's time to put yourself out there, surrender to the divine, and a fiery climax approaches. Now, these two cards, you have no and not the right time. So these two cards feel like a person from your past has shown up. If they haven't already, they're in your energy field, they will. Very like soon, within days, maybe a week. This is just some kind of karmic healing. Don't mistake this for like it's a sign, whether it's relationship, like they're the one, or if it's a friendship, like, oh, they're not the same, they're not too bad. That is not true. This is more of a karmic healing. Not to say that in the future this person may come back, but when you were both on the same, both aligned in the same energy. Now you are not. So there's some kind of karmic healing that is taking place with this person. Just keep that in mind. You have the free will to choose whatever you want, but I'm sure nobody wants to repeat the same mistake. So your spirit animal is the raccoon, the inventor. Decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity in this is the word I always have a hard time pronouncing. Ingenuity. I can't say it right. Okay, it's one of those words. To claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. This card came out recently, and I would be interested if someone who chose this deck have this card. I think it was like 2 circles ago, maybe a circle ago. Who knows? I have no concept of time. But it's just interesting it came out again. So be very clear about what you want. Be kind to yourself and know you're on the right path. Don't worry about getting revenge and address any anger issues, because that's only going to bring you more karma. Okay, we want to heal the karma. We don't want to create more karma. So just allow it to come up. I'm not saying you have to deal with this person again, but revenge just brings more karma. And karma comes back to us multiplied. And right now, we don't need that shit, especially with the intense energies that are going on. Could you imagine how intense that is? So be kind to yourself. Be true to yourself. Be clear about what you want and just go for it. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. So deck number 1, I hope that resonated with you. Now we are going to move to deck number 2, the heart chakra. So this one says the energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. I don't know if you can hear the fireworks outside, but I don't know if it was thunder or fireworks, but they're fireworks. Did it, Bernadette? Awesome. Okay, so now we're on to deck number 2. All right. So interesting, because you got the heart chakra and then you got the heart chakra with your chakra cards. You got passion and the throat chakra. So what's interesting right now, the energies, oh, good, Tom. Right now, the energies are not focusing on, but you're feeling it more in your heart and your throat chakras, as well as the head, your third eye chakra. But you're feeling it more in the upper chakras. And the throat chakra is every thought has a vibration. Everything has a vibration. And every thought, every word we speak or think vibrates through our throat chakra. And that is the vibration that the universe matches. So it's pretty interesting how you have the heart and the throat chakra. It's almost as if I feel they're aligned, your throat and your heart chakra. If there's an imbalance, I'm trying to find like the right words, like the best words. If there is an imbalance going on, it's more of perhaps you're being tested when it comes to being assertive. Maybe you're second guessing, expressing yourself and being assertive. Like you want to say it, or slowly you're learning how to express yourself and be a little bit more assertive. But I feel like if there is an imbalance in your life right now, you would recognize it as you're feeling yourself like hold back on saying something, doing something, or putting someone in their place. That's where I feel like if there's an imbalance, that's where it would be. I feel like you've done a lot of work on yourself to get a grip on all this. A lot of healing, especially when it comes to your heart chakra. I feel like you may have had a wall, which a lot of people do. Once they get hurt, they put up a wall on their, around their heart chakra. But I feel like you've dismantled it. You're becoming more comfortable being vulnerable and expressive through your heart chakra. And you're being more comfortable allowing people to come into your life and get close to you, which is something that was very hard. I feel was very hard in the past. So you have the imagination card. And imagination would be like, well, obviously you know what imagination is. What I meant to say is the ideas and inspiration that you're getting. Maybe that's where you're having a hard time putting it out there, like you're second guessing yourself, or there's like a little resistance, like you want to do it and then you stop. You want to express it and then you stop. I do feel like there's issues with sleeping for deck number 2. You may have not sleeping like through the night, waking up every couple of hours, feeling very tired, but then not able to fall asleep, and crazy, crazy dreams. A lot of lucid dreams that when you wake up, you're not quite sure if it really happened or if it was a dream. Yeah, it's almost as if you're astral traveling in your sleep. And when you come back to this dimension, it's like you're not quite sure where you fit in anymore. Like there's this feeling of, did I really do that? If I really did that, then how do I bring that here? And something about fitting in. It's just something about fitting in and incorporating these dreams or travels that you're doing in your sleep. Oh, you are. Does that make sense? Like not fitting in. I don't know really how to word it. Sometimes it's so hard to put feelings into words because it's a bunch of things. It's not just a feeling. So you have your dreams need a practical plan and meditate and contemplate. So it could be the meditate and contemplate. I know a lot. I know for me personally, I am someone that meditates every day, sometimes a couple of times a day. And lately, I cannot get into this space because as soon as I do, something comes up, something distracts me, something happens. So maybe you're going through this as well, that maybe normally you meditate or you would like to meditate, and every time you try, something happens. I suggest do your own way of meditating. Like my way of meditating, if I can't just sit and be quiet and still or listen to binaural beats or something, I go outside. I go outside and I get bit by things and I journal. Or I just talk to nature. I just sit there and look at the sky and the trees and kind of connect that way. It's really, really important right now. I think grounding is very important for all of us right now because we all feel a little loopy and out of it and displaced. And I think grounding is going to help us feel I belong here. I deserve to be here. So do some kind of practice that will at least help ground you, and journal whatever your dreams, if you can, write them down. Any random thoughts that come to your mind, like all of a sudden you remember a part of the dream, write it down, because I feel like there is a lot of significant messages coming to you, almost like ancestral wisdom is coming through. And couldn't tell you what that was. That's for you to figure out. But it's definitely some old family wisdom that's coming through. You have rediscover your zeal and amble with contentment. I want to make sure I have, yeah, okay. So rediscover your zeal. Pay attention to the passion you are feeling for discovering, learning, exploring spirituality, travel, your work, or your relationship. Passion and desire go together, especially as inspiration. So here's your passion card. Here's your inspiration card. Oh, does it, Carmen? I'm glad that makes sense to you. Now, the seahorses. Waiting rather than acting is going to be the most adventurous now. Waiting rather than acting is going to be the most adventurous now. And that's why I feel like grounding yourself is going to be very important, because it'll put you in that place of confidence, that sense of belonging. Sometimes when we feel like we don't fit in, we make irrational choices just to kind of fit in. And then we got to heal those aspects of ourselves, which becomes a pain in the ass. So here's your fertility. your wisdom, conflict and defeat, and emotional loss. So you have two of the heart chakra cards, right? You have two heart chakra cards. So remember that wall I was talking about that you dismantled? I do feel like that, and it's the number 5. They're both the number 5. So 5 is positive growth through change. So I feel like that you've healed emotional trauma that was blocking your heart. But for some, not everyone, you may be hanging on to it a little bit, not realizing it, that you're hanging on to it, and that you can release it because it's already been healed. So what I would recommend is just do a visualization, right? Imagine that you are in a balloon, right? And you want the balloon to take off, but you feel the sandbags holding you down. So you look down and you can see who is holding these sandbags weighing you down. And all you got to do is just cut them. And sometimes you have a hard time cutting them. Just remind yourself that it's okay, it's safe. Thank you for the lessons you have taught me. Give yourself, be kind to yourself, and have patience with yourself. That's what I wanted to say. Eventually, you will cut these cords and the balloon will fly up. You can do any type of visualization that you would cut something, because that's what you want to do. You want to cut them out and let it float away. You could imagine opening a window, or you can actually do it. Like smudge your whole house and say, I'm ready to release. Open the window and just let it go. Let it fly out the window with the smoke. Something as simple as that can have a very powerful effect. You don't have to do something, so over the top. It could be simple. Okay, so your angels tell you, yeah, I do a lot of the meditations with the balloon, also hypnosis. When I do hypnosis, I use the balloon a lot because it's easy to visualize. I don't know if it's the Benadryl, the energy, or what, but you know what I'm talking about. Don't stop. Listen to your intuition. Yes. And within the next few weeks. So I feel like you're in for some huge changes that are happening right now. And if you feel like you're off, like you don't know where you fit in, just hang in there a little bit. You'll find your place. Your spirit animal is butterfly, rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. So see, it was interesting when I was saying, if you feel like you don't fit in and you don't know where your place is, and the butterfly came out, all you got to do is just fly and find your place, right? Reinvent yourself. I remember being a teenager, it was so easy to reinvent yourself, right? You would like cut your hair and dye it and change your clothes and whatever. And it's like, I don't know, when you get older, it's not okay anymore. it seems like. And I think it's okay to constantly reinvent yourself because it keeps things exciting, right? Makes life exciting. It's like having a new, what do you call it? Alter ego, right? So deck number 2, I hope that resonated with you. Deck number 3. This is a really pretty, it just looks like a powerful sacred geometry. Like you can see the light of this one. It's just got a lot of light. Joy. The energy of joy activates our feelings of happiness and well-being and supports a high vibrational frequency in our being. I like that card. Let's see your chakras. Okay, so I didn't even get to see the cards yet, and I already have like pressure on my head. And what do you have? You have your throat chakra, crown chakra, third eye chakra, and root chakra. So okay, so we're going to start with, because there's like a bunch of different things that I feel with these chakra cards. We're going to start with the family, the support. Like I said with deck number 2, it's very important to ground yourself. I feel that you're ungrounded, and the support you are seeking is already within you. You need to be your own support. I think you're looking too much on the outside for the support that needs to come from you on the inside. I hope that makes sense. Because you're not going to find it on the outside. You need to be your biggest cheerleader, your best supporter. No one is going to support you better than you. So stop looking on the outside and start looking within yourself, and you may discover some blocks that may be attached to anger, maybe, that are keeping you from supporting yourself. So I just feel like there's some childhood conditioning that is attached to this anger that is keeping you from discovering the support within you. Because I do feel you have the support around you to help give you what you need right now. It's just that you feel like something's missing because it needs to come from within you, not outside of you, which brings me to your third eye, your insight, your self-awareness. So it feels like that you're going through, I don't want to say dark night of the soul necessarily, but you're going through a deep shift. And it's very, very uncomfortable because you have to get real with yourself at this time. And I feel like you're being pushed to become aware of what you're really feeling inside, because I think a lot of it has to do with this childhood anger that's been suppressed. And it's not just anger. I mean, it's a lot of things that are attached to it that may be keeping you from going to the next level. Like maybe you always find yourself getting to a certain place and then everything goes to shit. And then you get to the same place and then everything goes to shit because there's some kind of block that won't let you move past it. And I feel like this is what's coming to the surface because it's time for you to push through it. I also feel like there is some sleep issues. Like maybe you don't feel rested. You're tired and you just never feel rested. I do feel like that there is a lot of dreaming going on, crazy dreams. Um, just I the only word I can use is like bizarre dreams. Um, but you're in a good place. You're in a good place. I don't want you to think like this is all bad shit. It's not. You're in a good place because you're aware of it. You're aware of it, and you choosing this deck is making you aware of it even more on a deeper level so you can address it and move past it. Your crown chakra is your connection to divine spirit, God, however you choose to call it. I do feel like that something is going to shift. There's something that you believe is impossible or would be impossible right now. Um, it's going to become possible because I feel like you may have lost a little bit of faith in whatever it is for whatever reason. And a miracle's coming your way. So something that you feel would be impossible or that like there's no way that's ever gonna happen like that or whatever it is, you're gonna be surprised. Throat chakra. Now that's your whole throat chakra. So this is about you not just speaking up, communicating, hearing, listening, self-talk. I think a lot of it has to do with self-talk. Um, I'm trying to think of a way to like share being aware of your self-talk. There is, we did a meditation in person once, and maybe I'll do another meditation like that soon. Um, because in the meditation, we become aware of what really our self talk is. So basically, just be mindful. If you get excited to do something, oh, I'm so excited to, take this course. All of a sudden, your stomach gets anxious or your chest starts, you start getting like palpitations, or all of a sudden you get a thought and you're like, now you're going to waste money on this, or why would you do this? It's a waste of time. That kind of self-talk. Don't dismiss it. Explore it. Dig a little deeper and see where it's coming from, because it's coming from something that's very, very old that you've been carrying for a very long time. And now is the time to let it go, because now is the time for you to step up to the next level that you have been trying to get to your entire life. But for whatever reason, you always got to a certain point and then everything went to shit. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. And that's where our blocks are. Our hidden blocks are keeping us from moving forward. Okay, polite declaration and where you need to be. You can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals. It is time for you to get out there. Claim what is yours and stay in your power, where you need to be. Acknowledge how you are feeling. Have faith the universe will take care of current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. So that's pretty cool because that's like a validation on you. Here's your dream. Dream sweet, sleep deep. Okay, so there's the now with this sleeping. One, be sure you're drinking a lot of water. And two, if you are drinking a lot of water, maybe add a pinch of Himalayan pink salt, just a little bit, into your water to help with your electrolytes. That could be for someone specific. I don't know if it resonates. Great. You won't taste the salt. It won't taste like salt water. Sometimes when we drink too much water, we dilute our electrolytes, because I know I drink a lot of water. So drinking a lot of water and making sure that you can put a little pinch of Himalayan pink salt in your water to help with your electrolytes. As for sleeping, I feel that maybe listening to certain binaural beats, certain music, stay off your phone, okay? If you can't sleep, do not pick up your phone. That is going to stimulate your mind and you will never freaking sleep. You can listen to certain music that will calm you. Don't listen to heavy metal. It's not going to make you sleep. Meditation music, binaural beats, singing bowls, anything that brings your frequency to a more relaxed state, but a higher vibration. And I promise you, you will be able to, not immediately, but get into a better habit of sleeping. I just feel like you may be overstimulating yourself on top of everything else that's going on, which is why you may be having a hard time sleeping. Even if you're reading a book, but you're reading it on Kindle, it's the same shit. That's why I like actual books. When you read an actual book, your eyes get heavy and you get tired and you fall asleep. When you read on Kindle, you're still on a computer, the lights, the activity, the frequencies of it. So Kindle doesn't count reading to bed. Then you have the success card. So you are definitely on the right path. I feel like everybody's on the right path. I feel like everyone is in this major shift. I feel like collectively, this is where we are. We all feel like we're in chaos. We all feel like we don't know what we're doing or what's going on or what the outcome is. Like, we all feel this. But I do believe that we are all on the right path. Even if we don't know what we're doing, whatever it is that we're doing it right. So just be. Don't plan. Don't try to fix anything. Just be. Just go with the flow. Go with the moment. In a moment, you catch yourself thinking a certain thought, nip it in the butt right away. Address it, deal with it, move past it. And just try to stay in the moment. And this is how we're going to shift more quickly into a higher frequency, a nicer environment. Step out of your comfort zone. Adjustments are required, and prosperity lies ahead. You see, every single deck has something to do with money. So don't stress. I know it's easy to say. Try not to stress about money. Remember, this is an abundant universe. If you feel like you have an abundance of bills, abundant universe. Stop focusing on your bills. If you have a lot of debt, because it's an abundant universe, you're focusing on debt. So let's try to shift where we put our focus and focus on the things that we want, because we are in an abundant universe and we all deserve to have, to obtain the abundance, wealth, and prosperity the universe has to offer each and every one of us, because there is way, way more than enough for all of us to live, not just comfortable, but the lives we desire. So remember that. Try to come up with some kind of mantra or saying that you remind yourself every morning and throughout the day, because right now, guys, we are manifesting so quickly, and it's really important that we focus on what we want. So trust. There's something better. Don't force shit to happen. Meditation brings answers. That's another one. Every single deck has something about meditation and helpful people, the support that is around you. And then you have forgiveness. And I don't feel forgiveness as much as I feel acceptance. Accept what was, accept everything that has happened, accept this moment, and just keep moving forward. That's what I feel like this forgiveness card is telling you. Just accept. Don't try to change. Don't try to fix. Don't try to dig. Don't try to like look for shit to heal. Just accept. Victory and success. We'll get back to that. Discontent and boredom and spiritual strength. Then we have authority. So remember this: childhood anger. This is the culprit. Could be a father figure, a male. It's a male energy, very dominant energy, very manipulative, controlling, possibly a narcissist. Someone that's in a lot of pain that just passed their pain on to you, not on purpose, but that was the best way they were taught to deal with it. And they taught you how to deal with it by suppressing it as well and turning it into anger. So you're breaking that cycle. So keep that in mind. Your spirit animal is the raven shaman. You are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. I don't remember when I did the void meditation, which is another meditation that is really cool. If you've done it with me, let me know. But we went into the void, and the void is where creation begins. And a lot of people are afraid when they hear like the void, and it's nothing there. It's where creation begins. So basically, it's telling you to not be afraid, that you are much more powerful than you're giving yourself credit for, especially when it comes to the support. You have a line of ancestral wisdom behind you, supporting you and sharing their wisdom with you. Try to connect and tap into that source however you can, however you feel comfortable. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but tap into it, because there's a lot of answers there that you are seeking. So deck number 3, I hope that resonated with you as well. I hope each and every one of you got a message to help change your perspective, or maybe gave you an aha moment, whatever it is. That's always my intention when I do these circles. So on the 7th, I will be doing a live 777 meditation. And I will also be posting, I will record it, posting another meditation as well. I have to catch up on the meditations, but I had a boo-boo, so I use that as an excuse. No excuse though. Thank you. Love you too, Anita. Thank you guys for joining me. I wish you an abundance of love, light, happiness, prosperity. Be clear about what you want. Think abundance, think prosperity, think wealth, think your greatest, biggest dreams, because right now, this is the energy that we're in, and we can manifest it like that. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you on 7/7. Good night.